Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel The Metaphor, and this is the season where I bring audiobook and the Ikigai. यो हाम्रो द मेटाफोरमा चाहिँ डिफ्रेन्ट खालको भिडियोजहरू रिगार्डिङ द नलेज है नलेज बेस्ड भिडियोहरू चाहिँ म कन्टिन्यू नै पोस्ट गर्नेवाला छु र अबको सिजन भनेको चाहिँ हाम्रो बुक सिजन र यो बुकमा चाहिँ फर्स्टमा मैले इकिगाईलाई पिक गरेँ। इकिगाईलाई पिक गर्नुको रिजन भनेको चाहिँ इकिगाई इज अ बेस्ट अन द जापानिज स्टोरी होइन एउटा ओल्ड फिलोसफीमा बेस्ड छ र यसको सेयिङ भनेको चाहिँ द जापानिज सिक्रेट टु अ लङ एन्ड ह्याप्पी लाइफ। हामीले खोजेको त अल्टिमेटली पिस नै हो। सो फर्स्टमा मैले इकिगाईलाई नै चुज गरेँ र यसपछि म अरू बुक्सहरू जस्तो लाइक एटोमिक ह्याबिट्सहरूमा होइन सबै इन्सपिरेसनल बुक्सहरूमा नै काम गर्छु। आई मिन टु चाहिँ इन्सपिरेसन बुक्सहरूको अडियो बुक चाहिँ रेकर्ड गरेर प्रेजेन्ट गर्ने कोसिस गर्छु। ओके ल लेट्स बिगिन फ्रम द च्याप्टर फर्स्ट, द आर्ट अफ स्टेइङ यङ वाइल ग्रोइङ ओल्ड। Let's begin. 3, 2, 1. What is your reason for being? According to the Japanese, everyone has an ikigai, what a French philosopher might call a reasons d'etre. Some people have found their ikigai while others are still looking, though they carry it within them. Our ikigai is hidden deep inside each of us, and finding it requires a patient search. According to those born on Okinawa, the island with the most centurions in the world, our ikigai is the reasons we get up in the morning. Whatever you do, don't retire. Having a clearly defined ikigai brings satisfaction, happiness, and meaning to our lives. The purpose of this book is to help you find yours and to share insight from Japanese philosophy on the lasting health of the body, mind, and spirit. One surprising things you notice living in Japan is how active people remain after they retire. In fact, many Japanese people never really retire. They keep doing what they love for as long as their health allows. There is, in fact, no word in Japanese that means retire in the sense of leaving the workforce for good, as in English. According to Dan Brittanier, a National Geographic reporter who knows the country well, having a purpose in life is so important in Japanese culture that our idea of retirement simply doesn't exist. The island of almost eternal youth. Certain longevity studies suggest that a strong sense of community and a clearly defined ikigai are just as important as the famously healthful Japanese diet. Perhaps as even more so, recent medical students of centurions from Okinawa and other so-called blue zones, the geographic regions where people live longest, provide a number of interesting facts about this extraordinary human being. Not only do they live much longer than the rest of world population, they also suffer from fewer chronic illness such as cancers and heart diseases. Inflammatory disorders are also less common. Many of these centurions enjoy enviable levels of vitality and health that would unthinkable for peoples of advanced age elsewhere. Their blood tests reveal fewer free radicals, which are responsible for cellular aging as a result of drinking tea and eating until their stomachs are only 80% full. Women experience more moderate symptoms during menopause, and both men and women maintain higher level of sexual hormones until much later in life. The rate of dementia is well below the global average. Though we will consider each of these findings over the course of book, research clearly indicates that Okinawa's focus on Ikigai gives a sense of purpose to each and every day and plays an important role in their health and longevity. The 5 blue zones. Okinawa holds first place among the world's blue zones. In Okinawa, women in particular live longer and have fewer diseases than anywhere else in the world. The 5 reasons identified and analyzed by Dan Butinier in his book The Blue Zones are: number first, Okinawa, Japan, especially the northern part of this island. The locals eat a diet rich in vegetables and tofu, typically served on small plates. In addition to their philosophy of Ikigai, the Moe or close-knit group of friends, see page 15, plays an important role in their longevity. 2. Sardinia, Italy, specifically the province of Nuoro and Olistria. Locals on this island consume plenty of vegetables and one or two glasses of wine per day. As in Okinawa, the cohesive nature of this community is another factor directly related to longevity. Loma Linda, California, researchers study a group of 7 day Adventists who are among the longest living people in United States. The Nicoya Peninsula, Costa Rica, local remain remarkably active after 90. Many of reason older residents have no problem getting up at 5:30 in the morning to work in the field. Ikigai Grace, one of every three inhabitants of this island near the coast of Turkey, is over 90 years old compared to less than 1% of population of the United States, a fact that has earned it a nickname, the Island of Long Life. The local secret seems to be a lifestyle that dates back to 500 BC. In the following chapter, we will examine several factors that seem to be keys to longevity and are found across the blue zones, paying special attention to Okinawa and its so-called village of longevity. First, however, it is worth pointing out three of these regions are islands where resources can be scarce and communities have to help one another. For many, helping others might be ikigai strong enough to keep them alive. According to scientists who have studied the five blue zone, the keys of longevity are diet, exercise, finding a purpose in life, and ikigai, and forming strong social ties, that is, having a broad circle of friends and good family relations. Members of these communities manages their time well in order to reduce stress, consume a little meat or processed food, and drink alcohol in moderation. They don't do strenuous exercise, but they do move every day, taking walk and working in their vegetable gardens. People in blue zones would rather walk than drive. Gardening, which involved daily low intensity movement, is practice almost all of them have in common. The 80% secret. One of the most common saying in Japan is hara hachibu, which is repeated before or after eating, and is something like fill your belly to 80%. Ancient wisdom advice against eating until we are full. This is why Okinawans stop eating when they feel their stomach reach 80% of their capacity, rather than overeating and weighing down their bodies with a long digestive process that accelerates cellular oxidations. Of course, there is no way to know objectivity if your stomach is at 80% capacity. The lesson to learn from this saying is that we should stop eating when we are starting to feel full. The extra side dish, the snack we eat when we know in our heart we don't really need it. The apple pie after lunch. All this will give us pleasure in short term, but not having them will make us happier in the long term. The way food is served is also important. By presenting their meal on many small plates, the Japanese tend to eat less. A typical meal in a restaurant in Japan is served in the five plates on the tray. Four of them are very small and main dish slightly bigger. Having five plates in front of you makes it seem like you are going to eat a lot, but what happens most of the time is that you end up feeling slightly hungry. This is one of the reasons why Westerners in Japan typically lose weight and stay trim. Recent studies by nutritionists reveal that Okinawans consume daily average of 1800 to 1900 calories compared to 2200 to 3300 in the United States, and have a body mass index between 18 and 22 compared to 26 or 27 in the United States. The Okinawan diet is rich in tofu, sweet potatoes, fish 3 times per week, and vegetable roughly 11 ounces per day. In the chapter dedicated to nutrition, we will see which healthy and antioxidant rich food are included in this 80% moe connected for life. It is customary in Okinawa to form close bonds within local communities. A moe is an informal group of people with common interests who look out for one another. For many, serving the community became part of their ikigai. The moe has its origin in hard time when farmers would get together to share best practices and help another cope with the merger harvest. Member of MOE make a set monthly contribution to the group. These payments allow them to participate in meetings, dinners, games, or go and sogi, Japanese chess, or whatever hobby they have in common. The funds collected by the group are used for activities, but if there is money left over, one member decided on a rotating basis receive a set amount for the surplus. In this way, being part of MOI helps maintain emotional and financial stability. If a member of MOI is in financial trouble, he or she can get an advance from group saving, while the details of each MOI's accounting practices vary according to the group and its economic means. The feeling of belonging and support gives the individual a sense of security and helps increase life expectancy. Okay, that's all for chapter first, the art of staying young while growing old, and I shall continue chapter second in the second video. So, how was it while reading the content? If there is any mistake while reading out the content, please comment. And if you are new in this channel, I would like to request for the like, subscribe, and comment on my video. Thank you so much for listening.